Hi, and welcome to the presentation of the Sustainability Assessment assignment of Group B7. In this presentation, we will walk you through the findings of our assessment of the sustainability practice of DHL. We will begin with a short introduction of the company. DHL is the largest postal and logistics company in the world. It is annually responsible for the transport of 40 million kilograms of freight and 2 billion shipments. The core elements of DHL business model are transportation of important documents and goods, warehousing, packaging, logistics and e-fulfillment. For this they own a fleet of 320 aircrafts and 112,500 vehicles, thus an interesting company to assess on its sustainability performance.
In terms of environmental impact, DHL decides to focus on greenhouse gas emissions. In 2021, they emitted 39 million tons of carbon dioxide, a difference of 17% compared to the year before. This is due to an increase in business activities. In the framework of planetary boundaries, DHL mainly impacts the category climate change. Furthermore, they committed themselves to the Sustainable Development Goals, which you can see below. DHL's main stakeholders are customers, employees, and shareholders. DHL also conducted a materiality analysis, which we can see on the right. On the top right of this figure, you can see the 6 most important teams for the company. However, for a logistics company with more than 2 billion shipments per year, we would advise them to also put a bit more focus on topics as waste, recycling, energy, human rights, and material usage.
DHL's sustainability strategy is integrated in their so-called roadmap towards sustainability. This roadmap focuses on meeting 3 commitments, which relate to the 3 dimensions of ESG. Environmental commitment is described as clean operations for climate protection. Social commitment, great company to work for all, and a governance commitment, a highly trusted company. Besides these 3 commitments, they also have corporate citizenship programs, which aim at making a positive social contribution, but then external to the company. This table shows the focus areas for all 3 commitments, together with set targets and KPIs. The focus areas are sustainable technologies and fuels, road fleet electrification, climate neutral buildings, green product portfolio, employee engagement, diversity and inclusion, occupational health and safety, compliance, cybersecurity, and respect for human rights. We compare these to the main competitors UPS and FedEx. The results showed that overall, DHL have not set the most ambitious targets, but they have been the most specific in terms of quantifiable targets and KPIs, which is of course a good thing.
Regarding DHL's operations, the focus is put on the environmental targets because DHL released a large budget to execute actions regarding these targets. For sustainable fuels, DHL focuses on partnerships with the fuel producers. Also, DHL invested a large amount of their budget to replace conventional vehicles by e-vehicles. Regarding climate neutral building technology, DHL invests in renewable energy sources and sustainable heating systems. We also try to benchmark DHL's current performance with their main competitors. Based on the available data, the benchmarking process showed that DHL is performing quite well.
So DHL is extensively reporting and communicating about the economic, environmental and social impacts caused by its everyday activities. And since 2021, they report this in their non-financial statement in the annual report. Before they reported this separately in the sustainability report. DHL claims to use the GRI standards for reporting, and we assessed the report on this, and they fulfilled this claim. However, we did find some limitations in the reliability principle and in their overall approach.
To conclude, we can assess that DHL overall does a good job on their sustainability practices. If DHL would implement the following recommendations, it would improve their sustainability report as well as their strategy. When looking at DHL's overall reporting and communication, we would recommend them to approach it in a double path. The report would then be guided more by the inner strengths and capabilities of the organization towards sustainability and not only on what stakeholders want. DHL is one of the most important players in the logistics industry. However, there is little reporting on topics as packaging, material usage, waste and recycling. It is advisable to include these topics more in their strategy. The most progress DHL can make is in their governance commitment, given the fact that the KPIs or targets here are either missing or remain vague. Based on the KPIs, we were able to compare DHL's performance with its 2 main competitors. This showed that DHL is performing well since it had higher scores for most targets. However, clarity on the specific actions they undertake to reach their targets is required.